connecting with the spirit of Egypt. I am King Akhenaten. There are many misconceptions. We are a blending of star beings and DNA. We did breed with one another to keep a bloodline, as you call it, intact. There was much disharmony owing to this. There are layers upon this land that have been clumped into one civilization. There are layers to this land. Scholars are trying to decode from decaying evidence of such layers. The blue star people made the pyramids. It was an entranceway into the earth for their frequency, but it no longer holds that frequency. The walls that tell the stories are also only part of a massive, multifaceted civilization upon civilization. By the time your Christ walked in Egypt, it had come to much disharmony and strife, and the gods upon the walls were not honored as they once were. The pharaohs took the stage, and that was the ultimate decay. There were powerful influences that came upon Egypt at one time, with great tools and insights that you call Atlantis beings, and they also contributed. But the power turned against itself. As you know, it can be used for good or not. And in the confusion, there was massive destruction and decay. When the Egyptians lost connection with Source, with the gods, they began to take matters into their own hands, and for I speak to you from a now greater perspective from when I was there, we misused and misunderstood our own power. The Christians came and saw the state of what our royal and high civilization had reduced to, and they tried to demolish what had remained. The Christians of that time were not as they are now, or what they became. The Christians of that time were closer to Jesus and felt that they had a mission to destroy the temples where misdeeds were going on. We feel we have added to your confusion. But in summary, Egypt, like the Mayan civilization in South America, is not as straightforward as scholars interpret. There are many layers. There was a time when star beings had more contact with Earth. And then they retreated and are now waiting for a timely moment to return. And they want to come in peace and love and order. And there is some remorse over the chaos that was created in the past. For the civilization was created essentially by them and went awry. And there are people who walk the earth now in this generation of yours who carry this bloodline, and it creates much disharmony in their being. But it is all going to be set aright, for the Great Father is in charge. And he has sat and watched his children playing games long enough, and he is looking at his watch, and he is deciding it is time to end the game and reveal the truth of who you are, who we are, so that we might return to a life of peace, joy, compassion, brotherhood, and sisterhood as it was intended. You won't learn very much from the history books. It is much more like a confusion of facts, some true, some gravely misunderstood. We encourage you to not rely on the current documentaries and the like. The Hathors are star beings, and they are part of the layer that came from the star beings who depicted themselves in the temples, just as the pharaohs after them did. You mustn't forget that Egypt was built in the third dimension by beings who were not from that dimension, but it no longer serves that purpose. There are other places on the earth now. I show you the ice caps. There is much activity at the poles at this time. For your purposes, dear ones, we ask that you take rest from your concerns and logical searchings of truthful timepieces. Enjoy your life. Keep it simple and live from your heart. Think not of the past. Be in the present moment. It is surely the most sacred and most divine place to be. We leave you now. We have enjoyed connecting with you. In trust, faith, and love, the star beings of Atlantis.